Well, good morning. No music, no intro, no nothing. Just Rouser Radio back after perhaps almost a year on the sidelines. This is just an introduction for 15 minutes. We come out of, well, perhaps not even 15 minutes. We come out of Lewes in East Sussex, but we serve a much wider area. You've got any news? Got any views? You want to join in? Let us know. We'd be happy to have you. Anyway, Rouser Radio. Uh, and this is to find us is on Spreaker. Just tap in Spreaker, and then Rouser Returns, and you'll get it. Because actually, what we do have at the moment is um, the first episode of a Texas werewolf, which is a bit of a horrific story, and in which local people play a part. Not least of which is Stephen Catlin, the present mayor, and myself, along with some Americans who have put this play together. But it's written by an Englishman, Mark Brett Warburton, out of Guildford. So there you are. That's what's on at the moment, and then we'll get back to a more formalised way of broadcasting next week when Mirador Television, which is taking a break this week, except for the odd comment, will be returning. So I'd love to play some music in between to keep us from being bored, but I can't because we're just setting things up. But let me get back to some of the news headlines. As the Metro, which is the London paper, says a failure of leadership. The thing is that, of course, it's got a picture of Boris, and if you ask me, it's the failure of leadership everywhere. I don't even got any leaders anymore. The Mirror, zero shame. 12 parties, three attended by the PM. One was in his own flat. 300 pictures handed over, and still zero shame. I would say, and my theme is this. I think Boris has been a very naughty boy. Indeed, I do. But when I look around and I just said zero or failed leadership, what was that headline? Failure of leadership is indeed it is failure of all leadership. Be careful what you wish for. Can't remember the exact quote, but that will do. Be careful what you wish for, because I'm not so sure, and that there is anybody that can fill his shoes. So perhaps the best thing to do is to go with what we've got until the next election, and let somebody somewhere come out of the woodwork and start to show some statesmanship, some leadership, and start to tell us where we should be going. Because at the moment, society and the country is in one hell of a mess. It is one hell of a mess, and it's not all down to Boris. There is a lot that's wrong with our financial sector. There's a lot that's wrong with our industrial sector. There's a lot that's wrong with our retail sector. There's a lot wrong with our local sectors, homelessness, mental health, hospitals, you name it. The whole of society is in one hell of a mess, and it's about time that we actually started to ask for some leadership somewhere. And I can't see it. I can't see it at present. My solution is leave it as it is until the next election, and let those who would be pretenders to the throne show their worth, show why we should vote for them. But of course, actually, although it is said that we do vote for a leader, we don't. I vote for a local candidate in Lewis District. That's where I vote, and I expect you're the same around the country. There are only a few people that actually vote for Boris or for Keir. Um, the rest of us vote for whoever the party has decided to put up, or the parties. And I don't like that system either, because that limits it. And the parties are so anxious to appear squeaky clean, is that they do all sorts of silly things like ratios and so many black people, so many gay people, so many women, and so on. That's no way to put a country together. What we're looking for is 650 people who are the best. I don't care whether they're all gay, or whether they're all black, or they're all women, or whether they're all gay black women, as long as they are the best. That's the point. Let's get the best, the best, the best, and forget all these ratios, all this nonsense, and this rubbish about isms. Oh, there you are. Rouser is back. It's now. Let's see what is it? It's 6:53. on the morning of the 1st of February. My goodness me, January is gone. Wow, there goes the year. Right, on Rouser Radio at the moment is the Texas Werewolf, Part 1. Part 2 will be up to today. If you've heard Part 1, you'll undoubtedly want to get to Part 2, but follow it through over the next couple of weeks. The Texas Werewolf, pretty startling stuff. Whee! I wish I could got something here that said scream, but I don't think I have. Never mind. Uh, right. So anyway, this is Rouser Radio, and let's just go through the rest of the papers. To be fair, the Daily Mail now published the whole damn thing, and the Daily Mail is instead of the redacted version and the interpreted version and the version which is being held back because Scotland Yard and Cressida Dickson no get her nose in there. Let's look at the whole thing so we can make up our minds about it. There you are. The Times. The police investigate the Prime Minister's 4 lockdown parties. Oh God, here we go again. Icing on the cake. Has anybody? When are these papers? When is society going to say we've got a dreadful problem with homeless? And not only that, has anybody started to look at the way that the crime figures are rising? Not only just in London, but right around the rest of the world. My God, I'll tell you, we are in trouble. We are in trouble on a number of fronts, and that's what I'm looking for. Not whether somebody had champagne while I was staring at the wall. Oh, I don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of elitism, but I don't like the idea of uh, one rule of law for them and another for us. But by the same token, is there are things that are happening, not least of which is every day the talkers, the negotiators, the diplomats are failing to find any sort of agreement with Russia. And what happens if Russia tips over into Ukraine? Do we go to war? Well, I'd hate to go to war leaderless, that's for sure. And if Joe Biden is the one that's going to be leading us, God help us. So there you are. That's a little comment, and it's non-political, non-biased. It's just an observation from a fairly seasoned journalist about what the hell's going on. Hey, right, okay. The Guardian, failure of leadership. Tories turn on the PM over the Grey Report. Well, those people who sit on the back benches just think twice about not what's good for you, but what's good for the country. They're telling us PM to ask Grey for a new report. Good old Boris, he's ducking and diving. He's very good at that. The PM pleads for his job. That's the I. Um, okay, and he said, "Hey, come on, I'm not such a bad lad. Give me a chance." And the Financial Times stays local or regional or national. Johnson rejects calls to quit after Gray's scathing report on parties. The Daily Express, which not, actually supports the government mostly. Yes, Prime Minister, you've got it wrong. Now get it right. Well, they're still there in fighting for him. The Sun, Mamma Mia. This can probe into number 10 Ababash. Leadership failures blast. 300 photos sent to police. Mamma mia. Well, the Sun has actually come alive at long last because it's ducked and dived in reporting on what's going on in Westminster, but it can't ignore it anymore, I guess, now that the Grey report is out. The Daily Star, 50 Shades of Grey. Oh, that's a good one. Well done, the Star. The number name party probe. The Bozo takes a spanking in brutal report. Humiliated as reps probe as cops, probe 300 party picks. Um, he's accused of a lack of leadership, and he gets high. He gets his kick in nuts by a former. Um, he gets a kick in the nuts, I guess that means, by the former prime minister. Right? Oh well, there we go. Is only one. The Express is on his side, but I'm not on his side. What I'm saying is, before we actually ask for change, let's make sure we know exactly what we're getting. I haven't seen anybody who suggested that there's anybody better. Rishi Sunak's name keeps on coming up, but my staff and I at Mirador Television, we've analysed 2 budgets now, and he's a great talker, but he's short on action. when you actually come down and start to unwind it, is the great sounding speech in the House of Commons doesn't have much meat in it. So I'm not so sure that if he took the helm, that we would be much better off. There are other people, names batted around, of course, but who knows? All right, where are we now? It's at 6:58. We'll go until 7 o'clock, I think. And let me just tell you again, remind you again that on this channel, Rouser Returns, which is on Spreaker. It's also on all sorts of other places like Spotify and so on. But on Spreaker, it's the Texas Werewolf. This is part one. It's under the Werewolf 1-1 on your Spreaker router radio source, and we'd love to have you with us. And I hope that in the not too distant future, well, by the time we get cracking next week, the Rouser Radio will have its music back, because we had some pretty nice music. The trouble is, of course, is that after a period of time they wipe these things. Why? I have no idea. I would love to have kept what we'd had. I took a long time selecting it. Still, never mind. We'll do our best to actually get back some interesting music. What we normally use on Rouser Radio is music that you've never heard anywhere else before. That at least makes us different. So why would you listen to us as opposed to some of the big boys with their very, very sophisticated DJs, not at all like us, where we make noises and make mistakes. We say and so on. Why would you come to us? Well, perhaps to listen to a bit of different music. Who knows? But certainly try the Texas Werewolf Part One. Werewolf 1-1 is what it's under. Where are we now? Okay, we're at 7 o'clock exactly. So that will be it for this morning. Thank you very much for being with us. Rouser Radio Returns. You find it under Spreaker, Rouser Returns, and we will be with you. Well, we'll probably have little dip-ins between now and Friday, and then next Monday, Rouser will be back with a vengeance, probably about 6 o'clock in the morning, and for a half hour. All right, that's it for today. This is Keith Hayes with Rouser Radio, and I'll be back around about 8 o'clock because Mirador Television is on holiday at the moment. But nonetheless, we do have some comment, so join us then. Till then, toodle pip.